Hey gang, it's your old buddy Platt, and today we're back for another homebrew tasting session. This homebrew tasting number 3. Our 4 candidates for this episode are our homemade ginger liqueur, our unhopped beer, our homemade champagne, and last but not least, Kvass. Start off with the ginger liqueur. It was real simple liqueur to make. We just took a couple ounces of peeled and chopped ginger, threw it in a blender with a little bit of water, then we added sugar and orange and I think some vanilla, blended it up. We used 80 proof brandy as a base. Some recipes you might see where they used vodka or a neutral grain spirit, higher proof neutral grain spirit. We just used brandy. It was 80 proof brandy we started with. Doing a little calculations, we came out to around 35 proof. That's my best guess on it. One of the things I stated in the video was I said that there was one of the recipes I looked at said something about filtering the orange juice for the pulp, but I bought non-pulp orange juice, so I didn't filter. You will want to filter this. Even when I shake, there's still plenty of sediment. I don't think it'll affect the flavor, and if you're throwing it in a mixed drink or whatever, you might not even notice it, but if you're just to do a straight shot, you would notice it. Alright, let's give this a try. Oh, I don't want to spill this. There we go. Well, that's nice. Sweet. The ginger's not overpowering, but it's there. It's present. In the aftertaste, I get a little bit of that. There's a little spice to that ginger. It's there. I really do like the way the orange juice complements, works, wherever you want to put it with that ginger. Again, there's a little bit of sediment, a little bit of ginger pieces in there. If I was to make it again, I would throw it through a coffee filter real quick, something you might want to do if you decide on this, but overall, pretty good. Next is our unhopped beer. It was the first video, it's the first video in a series I want to do about homebrew experiments, just doing different things and just producing an ale or a lager or cider or whatever, come up with something different. I've always wanted to try unhopped beer because in homebrewing I've always heard about balance. You got to have hop bitterness versus malt sweetness. Now I just want to see what it's like to have an unhopped beer. Our recipe is real simple. We just used a pound of light dried malt extract for a gallon of water. We did a full 1 hour boil. We didn't add any hops, obviously. And our original gravity is lower than I thought it would be, 1.030, and our final gravity got to 1.005, so we're around 3% alcohol by volume. So pretty much we made a really light, a session beer, unhopped session beer. So let's give this a try. I got only a little bit of piss, so not a lot of carbonation on that one. That is sweet. Yeah, that's sweeter than I thought it would be. But not too sweet, still drinkable. I think I probably should add more priming sugar. I think a little carbonation would help this. But it's not bad. It's like a iced tea almost color. It's alright. I was prepared in my mind to say if it came out dry, that maybe a future experiment I could back sweeten. I don't think I need to back sweet. this might lead to, this actually might be leading me to a future video I want to do on making Groot, which is a beer that's flavored with other things than hops. They would use other herb spices, whatever, instead of hops. So that might be the next progression in this. But this is okay. I think more effervescence would help this out. But next is our homemade champagne. Real simple concept. I had done a video on champagne during the wine series. We'd made some homemade wine before. And my thought was, well, let's make our own version of champagne / sparkling wine. But instead of going through the process, as the bird knows, the process of bottle conditioning, because that's what it basically is, even though the champagne method is a little more complex with the racking and the disgorging and stuff like that, I thought we would take one of these soda stream machines to carbonate our wine. We just used white grape juice, add a little sugar. Our original gravity was 1.080. Our final gravity got to 1.00, so we ended up about 10.5% alcohol by volume, which is about in line for a lot of sparkling wines. One technique we did in the video discussed was I wanted to make sure this was as clear as possible, and it came out fairly clear, like a champagne would. We use potassium sorbate. Potassium sorbate, what it does is it stops the cells, yeast cells, from reproducing and converting those sugars into CO2. It stops the digestive activity of yeast cells, which eventually does kill them off. It doesn't directly kill them off, but eventually it will stop the fermentation process. We also did something called cold crashing, which is taking the fermentation out of the proper temperature range, throwing the fermenter into like a refrigerator, and that cold temperature again also halts yeast activities. So between the two, we've got those yeast cells to get out of suspension, drop to the bottom, and then we racked it to a secondary fermenter, and then eventually we racked it to a third fermenter, just so we could separate from those dead yeast cells as much as we could. After that, Bird will tell you, we used the soda stream machine to carbonate. So let's give this a try. All right, we've got bubbles. Not quite what we'd have in a regular champagne, but clear in color. Few bubbles. Let's give her a try. Not too bad. A little bit of sweetness. If you drink traditional champagne, again, champagne that's bottled conditioned, you get a little bit of yeast aftertaste because yeast is in the bottle. I get a little bit of that yeast taste, but it's not over the top. It's not oppressive. We did carry some sweetness through. It is not Cristal or Dom Perignon, but not bad. All right, last but not least, we are at Kvass. In the video we discussed Kvass is something between a session beer and almost like a soft drink. It's big in Russia, Eastern Europe. It's been around for over 1,000 years. Real simple recipe. Basically what we did was we toasted some rye bread. Rye was the traditional bread in Eastern Europe. We let it sit in a pot of boiled water, let that sit overnight. Then we came back, took the bread out, threw a little sugar, some raisins for a little bit of flavor and also for yeast nutrients. And then I used brewer's yeast in this. If you were making it at home, I'd suggest maybe more of a bread yeast. 1,000 years ago, before they really knew what yeast was, they would use wild yeast in the air. But remember, we were outdoor people, agriculture, we didn't have central air heating and all that stuff, and we didn't have pollutants in these big cities like we do now. So I used again, the birds helped me out today. I used a brewer's yeast instead, but wild yeast is what would have been used a long time ago. I didn't do a gravity reading because part of the issue with this is we basically started fermentation and then quickly bottled. And because we don't have enough time to let it ferment out, there weren't going to be a lot of fermentation. Also, this is carbonated, and when we're doing a gravity reading, it's kind of the buoyancy of that hydrometer that helps tell us, you know, how much alcohol we produce. Well, in a carbonated beverage, that buoyancy gets thrown off, so it would have been kind of pointless. So let's give this a try. All right, I was afraid of this. All right, this is the bottle I used because it had this is homebrewing bottle. It kind of lets pressure out, and I was worried about too much pressure. But I think I might let too much out because I don't see much carbonation on this. That's nice. That's real nice. Sweet, light. Let me try this bottle. Now I can squeeze it. I've got carbonation in this one. Let me give this a try. Ah, you can hear. Yeah. Let's pour that. All right, I got a few more bubbles, but not a lot. Whoa. That is nice. I can see why that's a soft drink. And the bird agrees. If we had a little more carbonation, I think it'd be a little bit better. I was kind of disappointed I didn't get much carbonation out of this. But I think with a little carbonation, this is real good. I can see where this is a soft drink. I don't get any yeast aftertaste like you would, you know, from a beer. Or yeast didn't really play a role in the flavor. Real nice. Man, squeeze a lemon in this, probably really good. Well, I hope you like this video, and I hope you can survive the bird. If you did, please like the video. Also, please subscribe and please like the video. Again, lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. Any comments, questions, concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.